Knighthead's patience will not wait until summer. Birmingham City are one step away from admitting that Chris Davies' project has collapsed, and the solution may arrive even before the next kickoff. What makes this moment so volatile is not just the drop in results, but the speed and depth of the decline. A team that stormed League One with 111 points now drifts in 16th place in the Championship, 13 points off the playoff positions and psychologically detached from its own identity. 1 win in 8 games, 4 consecutive defeats, and a squad that looks increasingly passive have forced the ownership to confront an uncomfortable truth. Waiting until May risks normalizing failure. The warning signs at St Andrews are no longer tactical issues that can be adjusted. They point to systemic fatigue, a group that has stopped responding. In high-performance environments, that is the moment when hesitation becomes negligence. Behind the scenes, the succession plan is no longer theoretical. Reports linking Lee Carsley to the role have gained traction precisely because of timing, not just profile. Carsley, currently leading England's under-21 side, represents continuity in structure, but a shift in energy. Knighthead's logic is clear. If the season cannot be salvaged in terms of league position, it can still be reclaimed as preparation. The looming clash at Fratton Park against Portsmouth Football Club has become more than a fixture, it is a reputational checkpoint. Birmingham cannot arrive there as a drifting mid-table side. They must arrive as a club that has acted decisively, signalling intent. Changing the manager now is less about chasing points and more about resetting standards before the narrative hardens. Carsley is viewed as someone capable of restoring tactical clarity quickly, particularly in transitional phases where Birmingham have looked disjointed and reactive. The most damning evidence against Davies is not just the losing run, but where and how those defeats occur. 18 points away from home, the third worst record in the division, is not a marginal issue, it is structural failure. Promotion-chasing teams build resilience away from home, not just dominance at St Andrews. Birmingham, under Davies, have become predictable travellers, struggling to control tempo, conceding initiative, and collapsing under pressure. That pattern erodes belief inside the dressing room when players step onto away pitches expecting difficulty rather than imposing identity. The tactical plan is already compromised. A managerial change before the trip to Wrexham is therefore not symbolic, it is strategic. It offers a psychological reset. For figures like Craig Gardner, tasked with maintaining structural coherence, the risk is clear. Allow the slide to continue and the entire project becomes associated with regression rather than progress. Knighthead's ownership model does not accommodate stagnation. Led by Tom Wagner, the group views Birmingham as a long-term asset that must align with upward mobility, both competitively and commercially. Sitting in the bottom half of the Championship after such investment is not just underperformance, it is misalignment with the project's trajectory. Making a managerial change before the season concludes sends a message internally and externally that mediocrity will be confronted immediately, not rationalized. If Carsley steps in now, he inherits a live environment rather than a reset vacuum. Every remaining match becomes a data point, every training session an evaluation tool. Players are no longer protected by the inertia of a failing system, they are exposed to scrutiny tied directly to the 2026 vision. That shift alone can recalibrate intensity. The question now is not whether change is justified, but whether timing will amplify or destabilize the response. Should Birmingham act before facing Portsmouth, using urgency as a catalyst, or is there value in allowing Davies to see out the season and preserve continuity? And if Carsley does take charge immediately, can he inject enough clarity and authority to restore pride at St Andrews within weeks?